My name is Box from Box and Jackalope, and today we're going to be talking about why Thrall and G Firepaw need to team up again. I'm with my good friend Banarak, so welcome back, Ban, as usual. He's a friend of the channel. You know him from many different videos, the Kunlai Campfire. But welcome back, Ban.
Yes, I am Banarak, formerly the Skull Shorties man, but yes, I am here to talk about good old Thrall and that G Firepaw guy who never shows up in anything.
He needs to come back, and I'm going to start the video off by referencing the Shadows Rising novel. So many of you who play World of Warcraft, like, a lot of the lore sometimes, some of the really good lore is in the novels, and I actually remember me and Ban were fortunate enough to sit down with the author of Shadows Rising, and she dropped the bomb, Madeline Rue, she dropped the bomb of G Firepaw being in the book, and it was, when I read the book for the first time, basically, it's, I would say, like, just like a Thrall and G Firepaw, like, cop buddy situation, like they're working together for the Horde. And they go to Zandalar, but they fight the Widow's Bite trolls, and one of my favorite moments is actually just like G's interactions with Thrall. I really think G was written perfectly here, where he's very Hawosian, and like he's even kind of getting, like, when him and Thrall first interact, like he wasn't irritating him, but Thrall was just very tired of the situations he's been dealt with at that time period. And G kind of just does that Pandaren Hawosian thing. He's very bubbly, and I believe G insists on going with him, right, when they meet.
I think it's like in both situations of meeting with Talanji, but I think it's also meeting with Jaina Proudmoore.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
yes.
that's what it was. I remember correctly. It's been so long since we read that, because that was like 2019, I think.
Yeah. Yeah,
or it was.
3 years ago.
I think it was before 20. It might have been 2020. I don't know. It's now been practically 2 to 3 years. So,
I guess like the main point of that storyline is like G1 was very Hawosian, but him and Thrall, I would say, developed sort of like a friendship. Would you say that, Ban, throughout that book?
I definitely feel like they bonded. I don't know if like I don't think they're like on the same level of like Vol'jin and Thrall or Karen and Thrall, but like definitely G Firepaw is like, I'd say like a wingman, or at the very least like someone Thrall can depend on in a messy situation. But yeah, back in that book, Thrall and G Firepaw, they go to meet with Jaina, and this is of course post like Reckoning. This is like right after Sarfang died, and like Thrall and Jaina had that talk with each other. So like Thrall and Jaina are like on really good terms once again. And G Firepaw is kind of just awkwardly there for the ride, but like I feel like it's good that G Firepaw came along, because like I'm trying to think of like out of all of the Horde leaders currently, I'd actually
of the council is what I really like that role. So it makes sense for him to kind of be there.
Oh, that's not even where I was gonna go with it. I was gonna say if there's anyone other than Thrall who actually has like friends, or in G's case, a lover on the other side of the faction, it's kind of fitting that G Firepaw was the one who tagged along with Thrall. Again, also to meet with Jaina, which, you know, the community very much shipped Thrall and Jaina once upon a time ago, so it's kind of, it almost feels like a poke at that, but not really.
I love the scene too in the novel when I don't remember the exact dialogue, but I remember G is like throwing some Hawosian ideology at Talanji that they have to act about the threat in Nazmir to the north, if I remember, and she was like getting annoyed with him. Do you remember that scene? That was, I know, but I remember she listened to him though in the book.
I feel really bad saying this, but I don't really remember a lot of the book because it was so long ago now. But I do remember like Lorthamar and like Gazlo, and like Thrall. I don't think G was there for the final battle, but I do remember like the Horde Council kind of like worked together with one another. But like Thrall was on the battlefield to go take on Nathanos and Cordana? Was it Cordana? No, Cordana's the...
Was it? Oh, it was, what's her name?
Syrah. Yeah,
Syrah.
I didn't. I did not forget about Syrah. I forgot about her name, to be fair. But Syrah did not die in that book. Neither did Nathanos, but Nathanos did die basically afterwards. But
Yeah.
Syrah is now the only remaining, like, well, I guess Gallywix too, but like, Syrah is a prisoner in Stormwind now. Or no,
So
wait, she was given to the Night Elves actually.
Yeah, she's a prisoner of the Night Elves. Not to go sway too off topic.
Yeah.
Watch Ban's Shadows Rising video if you're interested. I think the whole premise of this video is it would be awesome to see these two team up again, and like, I think in a fan servicey way, it would be kind of cool to mention like what happens in the novel. But their dynamic was, I would say like for those who watch our machinima, kind of Ban and Box in some ways.
Oh, it was so reminiscent of them. Like, I guess like that very much felt like almost like the perfect blend of what me and Box kind of feel about our characters. Like, Ban is very much Thrall in the situation, and Box is the Geo of the situation. It works perfectly well for us specifically.
I think like we could easily get, if Thrall comes back in like, I don't know, like 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, and I would not put it past the Ambassador of the Horde to show up as well. I'm sure we could potentially see a quest chain with the two together, and I actually think that would be what would make G feel like a more solid leader in the Horde if we got more interaction with other leaders. Because I think outside of, forgive me if I say this, but like Garrosh and back in Mop, I can't think of many Bane. He interacted with Bane Bloodhoof and after the Sarfang incident.
Yeah. But he was healing Bane after he returned from his getting rescued, after being tormented by Sylvanas. G was in charge of. I mean, G just did not want to have to deal with another siege for Orgrimmar. We gotta give the guy, gotta give the guy a list of understanding there, because he was almost executed and he was brutalized by the Korkron there. I think, considering how Sylvanas views the Pandaren, she probably would have done something worse.
Oh, for sure. I remember how they actually even talked about that in the Tides of War novel.
Yeah, but
was that it before?
They might have. That might have been in
Tides of War. It was the one.
War Crimes.
Yeah.
War Crimes. Yeah, I think they did actually mention that. I think he was even there for the trial, and he was hanging out with Asa. I think it was implied. I don't even remember what was implied about that, but I know a lot of people were wondering if G was even gonna stick with the Horde after that incident.
I remember,
or if he was gonna go back to the Isles or not. But no, he's still with the Horde. He's still a part of the Horde Council. But yeah, no, he hasn't really interacted with other leaders of the Horde outside of Garrosh and Bane and of course Thrall here. So it would be really nice for us to see more of that, especially in game.
Yeah, even just a quest line or even a dialogue thing, kind of like when you just remember in the pre-patch you could talk to all those leaders about what they thought of the situation. Something like that would, I think, would go a long way. And I want to give kudos to Blizzard. In Dragonflight, they've done a lot to include the other races in the storyline a lot, and that includes Pandaren. Like, although we haven't had G and Asa, there's Pandaren all over the Dragon Isles, which is awesome. But Ban, I think we're kind of at wrap-up time, but the point of the video is it would be cool to see G team up with Thrall and other leaders.
Yeah, there's not much other to say than that, but yeah, it would... In general, I think that what we're saying is, one, we want to see Thrall in Dragonflight, considering his relationship with the dragon aspects, and his former role as Earth Warder. And also, we'd like to see G Firepaw, who is the leader of the Huaujin, leader of the Pandaren on the Horde side, and, like, in general, G just has not gotten that much representation in the game at all.
Yeah.
So... he gotten a role in a book. This is like, again, Shadows Rising was like the most we ever got from G in a book too. So, yeah, just we need more G in general. Like, even if like he's not hanging out with Thrall, have him hang out with anyone really. A Rexar, Rokon, Zakan, someone. Just the guy
Zakan
needs.
Would be fun.
G just needs screen time. He does. I'd love to see him interacting with Asa and what their romance is like, considering the dynamic. That's gotta be awkward as hell.
Absolutely, and I think with the peace treaty, it'd be interesting to hear about that dynamic. He also needs a fluffy collar, like a lot of people have been putting on his design now.
Oh, he needs a new model, really. Like, he kind of just has unique armor right now, which isn't going to be unique as much when you look at other armors now.
Right. Well, Ben, I would like to say thank you for joining me on this discussion. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to see more of my content, check it out. If you want to see more of Ban's content, check out Banarak's channel. He does lore videos, machinimas, podcasts. We have 2 podcasts, the Kunlai Campfire and the Founding of Durotar, or the Founders of Durotar, sorry. But thank you guys so much again for watching. Bye!
See ya!